It's funny how I stay on the phone and talk about different shit, and everybody just be like, "God damn, NewJack got a lot of time on his hand." Well, I do. And I was just talking to a friend of mine, Joyce, and she was talking about this promo that I did earlier, talking about Brotherhood. And then I thought about it, and it made me think even more and more about this shit. I got, when I fell off of that scaffold in 1999 and cracked my skull, I got this thing they call, it's like delay reaction. It's like I'll think about shit, and then I won't comment or say nothing about it until maybe like hours later. And then I was just talking to Joyce, and then it hit me. Let's talk about Brotherhood. Let's get real deep now in the Brotherhood. Now I want y'all to think with me now. You see the boys get in the business, and then they start to transform from being normal to tattoos like I did, to drugs like I did, and other people did, but wouldn't ever admit it, to all of these different situations you get put in, and you do it by choice because nobody's holding a gun to your head. Because I did what I did because I wanted to, right? But then I started to think about this thing, and it just hit me when we was on the phone talking, and we was talking about this show we getting ready to do on Saturday in Orlando at the National Guard Army for Frank Goodman, PWX. And I was telling her who was on the card, and then she said something about Saturn, and I said, well, I don't like that motherfucker either. And she said, why? I said, well, a number of reasons. I said, but one of the main ones is Cronus died. He didn't come to his funeral. Now understand something. Cronus came up with the Eliminators. The Eliminators was Cronus' idea, right? But when Saturn got a dealing with the WCW, he said, I'll go without Cronus. So Cronus didn't go. Let's talk about Brotherhood. When Cronus died, I was the only wrestler, professional wrestler from ECW at Cronus' funeral. Now, they buried Cronus in Boston. I lived in Richmond, Virginia at the time. I took a train to Boston. No, I'm sorry. I took a train to Connecticut. A friend of mine picked me up and drove me to Cronus' deal for me to say goodbye. There was a deal with Saturn, Raven, and a couple other cats, and Shane Douglas was supposed to be included on it, but they told Shane that they wasn't going to jump ship from WCW to go to WWE. They was going to stay at home. Shane was loyal to his word, and he stayed at home. And then Saturn and Raven, and I forgot who else it was, they all popped up on WWE. And Shane didn't show up because they had all told him that they wasn't going to show up. Scotty Riggs, I hope me and you are still friends, bro. I hope we are, because we've been boys since 1992. You was in my condo when the cops came in and raided my fucking house looking for my old roommate. And you had a bad back and couldn't get up off the floor. And I'm standing, well, I'm laying in the floor, butt ass naked. And the cop asks me, "You got any weapons?" I'm like, "Yeah, my dick." And I hope this don't throw us off track, but if it do, oh well. But don't start preaching this brotherhood bullshit when this business is what it is. Come on now. You would have came out better staying out of this one, Scotty. Brotherhood? When NewJack fell and cracked his head, who called me? Paulie called me. And I'm going to leave it at that. Paulie called me. My roommate, named Eric, he made sure I was okay. Because, see, I sit around the house for 6 months totally blind. Didn't hear from nobody. WCW did a spoof of me falling the next week using somebody else saying this is how it should have been. And I'm laying at home in the dark for 6 months. Ain't nobody called me. Ain't nobody send me no get well card. Don't you talk about brotherhood. It's more like sucking ass hood. Alright? That's what this whole business is about. You know, and as grown ass men, y'all sit, and I say y'all sit around and suck ass and wait for the chance of somebody to call you to put you on TV to let you be the next superstar. Until they tell you you're not anymore. So don't talk about brotherhood. When we've seen our boys drop 2 and 3 a year for doing drugs and getting hooked on shit, and you don't do nothing about it but get high with them. Don't talk about brotherhood. Half of y'all, the majority of the wrestlers that's done made it, some make it not on skill, but some make it because they know how to play the game. Because this business is not built on skill. It's built on politics. So before you come back out and say this is brotherhood and try to defend a nasty motherfucker like Balls Mahoney or a nasty motherfucker like Axel Rotten, before you to try to defend Scotty, don't get into this, bro. I'm gonna ask you, because we boys, stay on the sideline of this one, okay? Stay on the sideline. Whatever Frank Goodman's doing, Scotty, I'm gonna ask you to stay on the sideline of this one. You free to say what you want, but I'm gonna ask you to stay on the sideline because, see, I laid at home and I had to recover on my own. Didn't have nobody there. The bitch that I was with walked out on me because I couldn't see. Okay, you want to shoot? Come on. I'll keep it gangster with you, bro. But Scotty, I'm going to ask you to stay on the sideline. Because when NewJack went through all the shit NewJack went through, wasn't nobody there for me. Nobody. When Louis Spagoli was begging for help, wasn't nobody there for Louis. Nobody. Except the people that were supplying it with pills that he died from. Alright? Keep it gangster now. Let's keep it real. Alright? Don't ever use the word brotherhood and wrestling in the same sentence around me. And then for these pathetic motherfuckers that go out on the road and do what they do, and then go back home and try to play husband, like they faithful, like they all, fuck you. And you won't say brotherhood? Brotherhood where? What about bending over, taking up the ass hood? What about eating shit hood? That's what you got going right now. I came back on my own. And here, I'm going to leave you with this. Never went to WCW, never went to WWE, never went to WWF, but I am one of the most top-rated, hardcore, feared wrestlers in this fucking business. And I will be until I decide I don't want to be in it no more. Now I'm waiting on my woman to come home so I can be happy.